you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I have to confess to you guys what I've been going through for the last 3 days, especially. Last 1 week, more the last 3 days. I've been going through an ordeal. The organizers of this show, TEDx, has approached me last year to be part of the TED. And they keep writing to me. They keep sending me a lot of guidelines. I have a problem. I can't prepare a speech and talk according to the structured notes. I'm very bad at it. And they said it's 18 minutes long. The counter already started running. The last time I stood in front of a counter like that was when I won the Oscar. And the speech I made there, they said it's one of the unforgettable speeches in that evening. But I bet that's not going to happen here. It's so much pressure. I've been trying to run away from this counter for the last 3 days, and then I tried to sort of not come today, saying that I am very busy. Actually, I was very busy. I am very busy because this is the time where we send a lot of films to Cannes. I have 2 of my films running to be showcased at Cannes, so there is a certain deadline that I have to adhere to. But because I said yes to them 1 year before, I have to live up to that commitment. Then again they said it's according to the guideline, that you have to be here. I said, okay, 16th is the talk. Can I come on 15th? They said no. According to the guideline, you have to be here 2 days before. So my immediate nightmare at this moment is TED. I don't know who these guys are. I have never met them. So always they push this guidelines in front of me, and I started thinking they are like this credit card honchos, They only exist on phone. You call them, they are on phone. You tell them the problem. They'll call you back. You ask them, do you have any number where I can reach them? No. They will call you back. So it's like every time I attempt to do something, they say it's a guideline. So according to the guideline, I'm supposed to speak 18 minutes. I think TEDx means extension. I think they will extend it. So here I am, don't know what to talk. Here I am, wanting to show you something. Probably that will spark something. Today in the morning sessions, we have seen, a lot of emotion on the stage. Whether it was Dr. Abdullah or Dr. Adra or the bionics guys, we have seen a lot of emotion running in our minds. So I am somebody who works with those emotions. I am someone who sort of manipulate human emotions for the benefit of human beings. So filmmaking is a very, very ironical area of art where a whole lot of human emotions are manipulated so that other humans can enjoy. It's very funny. So we all sit in one room in darkness where caste, creed, religion, color, nothing matters. We laugh at one joke. We cry at one emotion. There is a unity. It brings people together. It brings culture together. I'm very proud of the fact that I work in films, first and foremost. But I never thought I will work in films. As a beginner, I studied physics. I wanted to be a physicist. I had this huge emotion running in me, thinking that I am going to invent a superconducting material, and I'm going to win a Nobel Prize for India. Don't laugh at it. That was my true intention. But I got an Oscar instead. It's not a mean feat, but there's a whole lot of things happened behind it. It's just that once I finished my graduation in physics, I wanted to join my master's in physics. Our education system is very, very, I don't know what it is, somebody just told me that. It's very, very peculiar, it's very hard to understand. 15 seats for a master's in physics and 150 students passing out. And my father was a staunch believer in principle. He said, no donation, so my superconductive material hanging in the air now. So I didn't know what to do. I had this first class degree in physics, so I was just roaming around. So I said, I'll join for law. So I joined for law. Then, a year into the law, a couple of my friends said, they saw an advertisement in a newspaper. They said, there is a course in Film and Television Institute of India, Pune, where you can study sound engineering. So the engineering word sort of interested me. So I thought, also it's an extension of physics, so I would do something to do with physics. So I went to Film Institute thinking that I'm going to study physics. I born in a small, in a very, very remote village in Kerala. Why I say this, quite often it comes across as like a pompous statement, so I don't want it to sound like that. There was no electricity there until my age of 17. The nearest school was 6 kilometers away, so we had to obviously walk to the school. So I've never seen films before, not major classical work. So I went to Film Institute like a novice, doesn't know anything about filmmaking. But I spent 1 week there. I didn't get in for the first time, I failed. Because I went there prepared like an IIS exam, you give structured notes. That's why I refused to read notes. Went there and I failed in the first exam. So I came back. But that failure did one good thing, that I discovered cinema. And I found out that cinema is my call. I want to do cinema from now onwards. So I came back to my law school. 1 year, I just watched films wherever I could go. I sort of, reinitiated the film societies in my college, in my other college, my friend's college, everywhere I went, and I watched one film every day, and I prepared sort of myself, and I got into the film school the following year. Then, I would say, in the guidelines, I keep saying that, let there be a story. So that's again another thing that's running in my mind. Where is the story? There's no story. Okay, the story is this. I went to film school from a small village. I met a whole lot of people. India is a very, very diverse country. Lots of people from different parts of India. So I went and met all of them who doesn't speak my language. I studied in Malayalam medium, which is my regional language. So I had to go there and speak to all of them in English. I think in Malayalam, and I translate it. My computer is not so fast. And I speak in English. So in every translation, what is lost is original. So there is a generation loss in everything that I do. So I thought, well, the first thing that I have to do is to overcome this. If you ask me, what was your struggle? That was my first struggle. To overcome where I am coming from. To overcome so that I can communicate with the rest of the world. That was my first struggle. I studied 1 year with a timetable to myself. Every challenge was to myself, not to anybody else. I prepared a timesheet for me. I woke up, the library opens at 8 o'clock. 8 to 8:45 I used to go to the library, 10 minutes breakfast, go to the class at 9, 9 to 1 classes, 1 o'clock hit the lunch, finish the lunch fast, come back to the library, go back to the classes at 2, come back to the library at 5, 6 o'clock there is a screening. Monday to Sunday, morning, evening, afternoon, I used to read different kind of books, different kind of periodicals. Every day I kept myself a kind of a timetable. And after a year, I thought, I'm done. Now I can talk to people. I overcame my fear. And I studied cinema 3 years. I used to have cinema for breakfast, cinema for lunch, cinema for dinner, and we used to spread cinema and sleep. Came back to Bombay, now Mumbai, and to the Hindi film industry. When I came out, I had two dreams. One, I always thought why Indian films are looked down upon compared to the rest of the cinemas in the world. Why a European cinema or a Hollywood film is conceived or appreciated far better than Indian cinema. I realized it is the way the sound is done in those movies. So I wanted to change that. And second was to create a sound library for Indian cinema. We never had a sound library. If you have to source sound libraries, sound, we had to either go to Hollywood library or a BBC library or a Sound Ideas, any of those ones. So I came to Mumbai with these two dreams in my mind. Nobody needed them. So basically, you got educated, you have a structured knowledge about cinema, and you think you are going to change the world with your new cinema, but the industry doesn't need you. That was my second struggle. To create my need for the industry. An industry doesn't need me, but I needed the industry. So I began with the concept of recording cinema live in Mumbai, way back in '95, when there wasn't even necessary specialized microphones available. I used to collect microphones from my friend's place and put it in a bag, take a taxi and go to shoot, like a porter. 14 years later, with the same concept, I was standing on a podium like this in Cinema Audio Society of America, where we won the Cinema Audio Society of America's award, which is the biggest honor for any sound man in the world. Only 500 people that got that honor in the world. We won for Slumdog. Thank you. That teaches me one thing. If nobody needed you, then you are going to make some difference. If nobody needed you, then it is upon you to create the need. And someone asked me, "Oh, Resul, you got overnight success." I said, yes. Just that one night had 14 years long, So that's a story. According to the guideline, I have done everything. So I'm going to show you something. I would rather tell you what I do so that you get a grasp of what I do. So I'm going to show you one sequence from this film, the much talked about Jamal's film. I'm going to show you a sequence. Just enjoy the sequence. How many sounds you heard? So many of them. Okay, I can just break it down, all the sounds that we heard in this sequence, I can just break it down into 6. One is a spoken dialogues. Second is the ambience sound of that place. Third is the sound effects of the place, of whatever has been created. Fourth, you probably might have heard the boys running and the policemen hitting the lathi and all these sounds. They're called the Foley sounds. And the fifth one is the music. And often in Bollywood, you hear one more sound, is the songs separate. So, now all these 6 elements are created with numerous number of layers, so that you don't perceive the whole thing as one experience. That's what the job. While I was working on this movie, I was working with one idea. That one big idea was, how are you listening? When this film came to me, it was shooting live sound in Mumbai, on the streets of Mumbai. I had done an Amir Khan film before that. I thought I have mastered the art of recording cinema live in Mumbai streets. So this film came into me. I said, okay, it's cool. First day I went to the shoot, there were 7 cameras shooting. Traditionally, in filmmaking, we use one camera. We take a long shot, then we have to take a close-up. We go take the camera closer, change the lens. We do one by one. We deconstruct one scene into a number of shots and we shoot. Here they have done, because it involved kids, untrained actors, they were using 7 cameras and shooting live. Most often, Danny would come and tell me how he would like to hear the sound in that particular sequences. So, which means I have only one chance. So if there is something wrong in a take, we would reshoot the whole scene again. As a principle, when we are doing live sound, we use the minimum number of microphones so that the noise captured is less. I must have used more than, at sequences I have used more than 25 microphones. So first day of the shooting, I realized that whatever I have learned till now is defunct. There's no use of this. I have to unschool, I have to deschool myself, everything that I have learned. I stopped recording the film professionally. I thought I was making the biggest mistake of my life. Then the solace was that, nobody will watch this film. Someone will watch in some festival. My reputation is intact. I decided to record the soundscape of Mumbai. And within the soundscape, the film was happening. Let me tell you an example. You are in a room like this, in a party. All of you are talking. Your friend is standing in that corner and she says hi. To a point, you can just concentrate and you can listen to them. If I keep a microphone here, I will not be able to hear that. If you're walking on the road, there's a lot of traffic. You're talking to a friend, you're walking, you can still hear everything that he's saying. But if I keep a microphone, the microphone will hear everything. The microphone doesn't have the intelligence to hear. So only one aspect I tried in this film was to understand how human brain is processing hearing. I used technology to arrive at it. I used multiple microphones, multi-track recording to arrive at how a human ear would hear something at that moment. This film was competing against some of the biggest blockbusters, biggest films made in that year. Wall-E, Batman Forever, all of it were $300, $400 million films. This is a $12 million movie. And I think we won. I often ask myself, well, how did I win an Oscar? I think that was because I was working on one idea. And that idea was strong. So I want to tell you, my youngsters who are sitting here, have an idea. The execution of an idea can be bad, can be amateur, but the idea can't be bad. So if you want to do something different, find one idea. Okay, let me come back to this. I'm going to play you various elements of the sequence so that I can tell you how we arrived at what you heard as an experience. I'm just going to play a little bit of everything. Sound effects. These are sound effects. All these sounds are recorded right in location using multiple microphones. And all this close washing and everything is done, recreated in the studio as Foley sound. That's a bit of sound design, new sound we have created in the studio to move your attention from what is actually happening. Sound effects. This is the actual sound we recorded during the shooting of this movie, of all this crowd and everybody running around creating a riot situation. And I'm going to play you another element. After watching this sequence, what Rahman created, this is what Rahman created. There's no music until quite into the sequence. This is his interpretation of what the editorial film. This is his musical interpretation. There's no music into the film. Quite unusual of Hindi cinema. They can't listen to where the music is coming in and how it's coming in. You got the sense of music, how piano is coming, drums are coming, other elements are coming. One by one it has been introduced. Now, you got a sense of various sounds. When the boy runs to the policeman saying, run away, those are the spoken dialogue. Now you see how these various elements, sound effects, music, dialogues, everything that has been part of that sequence been enacted there, been captured, and has been used to recreate another reality. It has been used to create another emotional experience. I'm going to play what I played you first time again, and in this time I'm going to speak through it so that I can explain you. So we nicely establish the whole area with sounds of that place, and we see the kids. Because we use the sounds of water, your attention straight away goes to the kids. And the mother looks at it, and you hear some sound. There's something going to happen, and you give a clue. And the boy goes down. No sound. You hear the sound how it comes up, as if he's out of the water. Now, every perspective now is from the point of view of the kids, because we change the sound. It's not natural sound anymore. put the audience into the reality of what is happening. And the music comes in very slowly. So now we are running through their emotions, all the kids. Piano played very strongly with the left hand. A lot of strumming. Now there is an unreal atmosphere. Everything has been taken out. All the sounds have been taken out. Now the boys are running. We are into the boys now. The rhythm. I can see everything from the boys' perspective. And we come to the police. Another event was terrifying. From that, we come to the show. Now, when Rahman composed the music, he composed the music with electronic sounds, also used the piano, also used a lot of acoustical instruments. But we picked and choose what is from that we can use it as advantage for the story of the movie. Like there were many sounds we have recorded. We put it together in such a way, we put one sound, we put another sound, we change the nature of sounds here so that, you know, in an uneditorial sequence, it wouldn't have been, you know, the perspective of the boys. With the change of sound, we've been able to bring that perspective. Then we used music as an emotion, as, you know, as moving the tempo of the sequences. And what we have done is actually coming up with another composition, which is completely different from a musical composition, where music has been used as another sound. So various other sounds we record, we multiply, we put together so that it creates one emotional experience. That's what we do. That's what I said, you know, we manipulate emotions. Because this is something that when you watch a movie, you never realizes it. This is something that you experience. That's why sound is called a subconscious art. We are working inside your subconscious mind. If you do this, you're going to feel this way. If you do that, we can make you feel in a particular way which is advantageous to the storytelling of a movie. That's what we do with sound. There's a lot more to be talked about, how we do it, and you know, there are various aspects and, you know, the various things that I wish this was like a half day session. I see I have already overdone so many. I think they have extended enough kindness to me. I'll just sign off by saying one last thing. They call my industry dream merchants. I just want to tell you one thing. Dream is something that you don't see when you're sleeping. A dream is something that doesn't allow you to sleep. As long as you're clear with that, you have done the job. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to show.